Welcome to UO Today. I'm Steve Shankman, Director of the Oregon Humanities Center. Our guest is Chunsheng Zhang, the Vice Provost for International Affairs and Outreach at the University of Oregon. Chunsheng Zhang earned his undergraduate degree from Nankai University in Tianjin, China. He earned his master's and doctorate from Bowling Green State University, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and came to Oregon in 2006. Dr. Zhang is fluent in Chinese and English and also speaks basic Japanese, French, and Spanish. He provides direction for international programs, study abroad programs, and on top of all that, helps keep the international alumni in touch with the University of Oregon. It's really good to have you here. I've been meaning to meet you for quite a while.
Thank you, Steve, for this opportunity.
Should we speak in English?
In Chinese. Now I know you speak Chinese.
不可以,不可以.
不可以. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll do English then.
Please, I would appreciate that. Tell me, are you the first person really in your position? I mean, Tom Mills, I believe, was your predecessor. Is that correct?
Correct.
But the position has been changed somewhat. So tell me, what is different about what you do from what Tom did?
Yeah. Well, I think a couple of things. Basically, this position is elevated from the associate vice president to a vice provost.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand in the history of this university, the vice provost position existed before. But a vice provost for international affairs and outreach, I am the first one.
The first one.
Yes.
So tell me what's the mission and scope of this
well,
position?
I think the mission, President Frohman summarized very concisely. The expectation of him for this position is to help raise the UO profile globally.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes basically student mobilities both ways, study abroad or international student coming here. But I think my view on this is that we need to also move beyond at the undergraduate level. We really need to focus on the graduate level and doctoral level student mobility. And the other one is since we're a research university, in terms of internationalization, we really need to make sure that international collaboration, the scientists from the University of Oregon with the top-notch scientists abroad, especially at our partner universities, that's another area. And the way higher education is globalizing in the world, we also need to look a lot more into future joint degree programs at all levels, that including bachelor, master's, and doctorate.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting.
Yeah, so I think the role is different in another way is that AHA International is a nonprofit organization merged with the university in 2003, I believe, and that position used to be the executive director of AHA, reports to the provost, senior vice president. And since my time, that position is reporting to me at this point. So under international affairs, that portfolio is expanded significantly. That's a $10 million operation serving 4 university consortiums in providing study abroad opportunities in 14 countries.
Wow, so you're a busy guy.
I try to say is muy ocupado y feliz, meaning busy and happy.
Yes, well, very good, very good. So international student enrollment, I think it's up for the first time in 5 years. Is that correct?
It's correct. I just got the most updated figure. I think we're just up by a few students, not as much as higher we want it to be. The international enrollment, obviously, right now we are still, if you include when I use the word international enrollment, that includes all international students this university serves, which includes all the degree-seeking students and exchange students and all the American English Institute international students who come here just study English. So when you include everything there, we are talking about 1,300 to 1,400, representing, I believe, 87, 88 countries.
9/11 made it very difficult, imposed some difficult
Correct.
restrictions.
Correct.
Are we moving beyond that now, or is it still
Well,
kind of tough?
Well, the U.S. government certainly is trying to help, but I think the visa denial issue is still an issue there, at least in the perception, because after September 11th, especially students from Muslim countries, where if you're a male student aged 18 or above, in order to have a face interview with a U.S. visa counselor, they have to check their background, so there's a natural wait for 6 months. But the government and the university are trying to do everything. I think that's where to create the image and also to do in our the kind of a service whatever we do has to make it not only sound international friendly, but in reality international friendly. If we want them students to come here, they need to come. They feel that.
So how do you create a friendly atmosphere?
Well, a lot of things are very simple. When they come here, you can look at the classrooms, you can look at registration. So you take any barrier that is only applied to the students. For instance, pre-registration will be one. I understand our international student, for instance, they cannot pre-register until they are here, but they also pay for the health insurance, which I all agree. But when I was in Minnesota, the situation is, if a internationally friendly university, all students, based on their status, should be able to pre-register like anyone else. They are students, whether domestic or international. They need to do it. But international students do need to show their insurance, like a measles, whatever, for the health issues. What we recommend would be, you can allow them to pre-register, but during the orientation before school starts, they need to complete all the paperwork, whatever need to be done. If they fail to do it, then that becomes a responsibility for the students. The university can drop their pre-registered courses if they don't follow their instructions. But when you're just looking at pre-registration, everyone, all students of University of Oregon should have similar fair rights to be to pre-register.
So when is that going to change, do you think?
It will take a lot of conversations and collaborations between a lot of offices. And the unique thing for my office, International Affairs, is that we work with every unit, department on campus you can think of, whether it's student affairs, financial affairs, academic affairs, research, all of them. So that's kind of make our job very exciting, that we have to be able to collaborate with the colleagues across the whole campus. And that's what we're trying to do.
So tell me about the international alumni. Do you work with international alumni?
Correct, correct. And this university, again, I compliment on this university when I came for the interview, because a lot of Ivy League schools, they have very established alumni chapters. University of Oregon now has only one officially recognized chapter, that is in Japan. International students, basically what I say, they are all very loyal to their alma mater, because they contribute to their career success to this university. I've been traveling with the president, or I've traveled myself to meet with alumni in Netherlands, London, Australia, Japan, Singapore, Taiwan, and China. Every place I go to, I meet with our alums. They are very enthused about what can we help with the university. And in terms of international recruitment, for instance, we're developing a program where our alumni will be able to help us to identify young people from the home country, and then they will also be able to go to some recruiting fairs and promote the university. And obviously, some of them haven't been here for quite a few years. then we need to give them the kind of information. This is a new developments at the university, at your home school, at your alma mater. Please help us and do it. That part is, again, if you look at the new Mills International Center renovation, $80,000 are contributed by the Japan alumni chapter. You know, we have other gifts are coming to the university from international alumni. So there's a great thing that we do. Normally what I say, our office tend to serve students during their 3 stages. That is, before they arrive on campus, we work with them, tell them what to do, you know, visa issues and different things, work with the admissions office. By the way, international admissions is not part of international affairs. That's part of the domestic admission unit. But we work in collaboration with them. When president travels, we go to the U.S. embassies and make sure we promote the U of O. You know, we work in that way. But it's before, during, and after. So the alumni is basically after they graduate from this university, we continue to work with them. But if you want to cultivate the best alumni program and with the potential donors even, that it starts from day one. Before, when they need the university's most help, we help to them. Then 20, 30, 50 years later, they say, you know, when I was a student at the University of Oregon, so-and-so helped me so much. They always go back to the individual staff, the individual faculty or the administrator who helped them. Now they say, I want to help the university to grow.
Tell me about the cost, though, for someone coming from abroad. I mean, they pay out-of-state tuition, obviously.
Correct.
So it makes it a little pricey, doesn't it?
It does.
And
it
I
does.
don't know how I don't know about in relation to competitors, but how do you deal with that issue?
The issue that's, I think, focus really more on what I have taken a role is really to work with our development officers across the campus. Actually, I was yesterday in San Francisco, and I think we are very fortunate to have a vice president for university advancement, and Alan Price is absolutely supportive of the whole international agenda. But international student cost is a major, major challenge for us, both at the undergraduate level and at the graduate level. I think the current tuition alone is like $20,000 for a year. That, depending where the international student come. For some students, that's a amount their parents, their grandparents add together for their whole life will never be able to make that much. Okay, so I think if we want to make this university truly an international university and make higher education accessible to everyone, and including having international students here, because it adds tremendously to the diversity of our student population, diversify the way the classroom conversations happening, or in the residence halls, or in the FIG programs. So I think the university should have an obligation to create such opportunities, raising major funds to bring the best and the brightest to come here. And then they will carry our university name for the rest of their lives.
And that's something you think can happen in the next few years?
Well, we are doing
headway.
Oh, yes, yes. And right now we already have a scholarship named after Dr. Gant, who is the founding director actually for the international office. We are continuing to raise funds, and I've been really working very actively with our development arm of the university, identify possible sources, whether sometimes through government. For instance, on the most recent trip, I went to Norway. Norway has a research council. They are, the government is providing resources for their doctoral students to come to the US or Canada to pursue their doctoral degree. Well, University of Oregon used to be listed on the name as one of the places you can go to. Now, because of the change on their side, our name, our university name is dropped from that list. So my goal is to go over there and say, well, okay, how can we get our name back there? I said, there are 4,000 some universities probably in the US. I can bet with you that there aren't that many universities that began to offer Norwegian back in 1899. Okay, until today. We're still offering. Our faculty Susan Anderson, as the chair for the Scandinavian programs. That's the kinds of thing. I said, I can also say that there aren't that many U.S. university that has a partner relationship with a major major Norwegian university that are partners for the past 25 years. So when I was there, I went to visit our partner university, University of Bergen. We celebrate 25th year, and then we'll continue. And when I talk with the president over there, we are going to really look into the next 25 years, what that relationship can be. So we're going to focus research collaborations, dual degree programs possibly, that meet both sides' needs. And obviously, these need to happen at the very ground level, at our departmental level, our college level. And at the university level, our role is to facilitate this happening and to support this, to identify these opportunities and bring back to the campus.
So to speak in very general terms, how would you rate the internationalization of the University of Oregon in relation to our competitors? Are we truly as international as we can be?
No. We are not as international as we can be. There's much more we can do.
How do we rate at the moment?
Well, there isn't. I think in terms of there are a lot of strength we do. A couple of things. For instance, we will rank if the level is 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. We are probably at 9 when it comes to what we call it friendship family, serving international students. Because every university have this challenge. That is, international students, in order to get them ready for the new school in the fall, they need to be here 1 week early before domestic students show up, so we can orient them to the American culture, American college life, and everything, go through all the paperwork, visa issues. But when they come here in the fall, there's no place for them to stay because our residence halls are not operating. And when you talk about international friendly, our operation is not based on what the international student needs there. So we have a program, I believe, as long as 50 years or close to it. There are hundreds of people in Eugene and Springfield community that help open their house for the international student. There's no expectation on host families. Free food, free stay for 4 nights or something. Take them to the mall, do the first shopping, that sort of thing. So that we are very, very good. If you are talking about some academic programs, the one example I would say, our Chinese language and literature program. If you rank that, we are probably the best, or one of the best in the country. Because again, our program started in 1953. We're currently offering Chinese. Anyone who wants to study Chinese without going to China, and this is the university. Okay? So there are a lot of things. When you come to a Chinese language proficiency test, again, we are number 1 because we, through the CASL, is the Center for the Applied Second Language Studies, that the faculty and research and staff develop a Chinese language proficiency test. You take that test, you will know your level of Chinese in terms of reading, listening, communication, and all that. And also, more importantly, that will also tell you what the ACTFL is, an acronym for the Association for Teaching of Chinese as Second Language. They have their tests that you will know what the level is that. Furthermore, if you want to become an international affairs office or military, that you also know their levels. What is that? It's called a STEM test. And there are a lot of things we can do. So these are the things that we have already done something very well. The one area that we can really make us to the next level of excellence in terms of internationalization, I think we need to have a well-integrated, this is a very decentralized campus. We need to have a well-integrated way approaching strategic, systematic of internationalization and put all resources together. And one of the things I think we need to raise major dollars, I'm talking about millions of dollars, to get the additional faculty positions, to get the additional resource on the staff, to get additional scholarships for both students who study abroad, also the students for coming here. We need to have a housing for visiting scholars coming here. So in terms of housing, we are probably near the bottom, maybe not even a 1. Okay, so depending what element of the internationalization that you are looking at, how we do it.
So do you have a university out there that you think is really doing it right, that you can aspire towards?
Sure, there are.
Tell me some of the ones that you think are we can aspire towards, if that's okay.
Okay, sure. There's no university out there that can do a comprehensive analysis. They are constantly at 8 or 9 or 5 above. Every university will say we are 10 or 9 or 8 here, but we are below 0 here. Okay, so that's the kind of the scale.
I see.
So when you look at specific, and most universities now, when you talk with the president, the provost, internationalization is a university mission. It's part of the university priority, and like Dr. Brady mentioned, internationalization is one of her 4 priorities. But if it's a priority, we need to fund it as a priority. We need to act as a university that this is indeed a priority we are working on. And that is, we are not quite there yet. We've been talking about it. We have a retreat at the dean and above level administrator on this. And I think we need to absolutely get all our faculty involved and excited.
Now, have you had that retreat already?
The retreat was conducted last November, November 1st.
I see.
Yeah, so there a working group is formed after that. So I think the momentum is being built on this campus and continually being built. We just need a little bit more time, a little bit more resources. That's why I've been meeting with a lot of potential supporters and donors, and to promote our East Asia initiative and promote the kinds of things we are doing at the departmental level.
Tell me about the East Asian initiative.
Yeah, that initiative is it was very artfully crafted documentation about reposition the University of Oregon as the leading university when it comes engaging East Asia in terms of faculty expertise, curriculum, and students who have the knowledge and skills that engaging Asia. Well, that's the number one. So what we want to do with that initiative is not only we want to be viewed as the expert university when it comes to whether it's political affairs or international affairs or business or education and cultural. So basically, I think we are probably behind the schedule a little bit because after it was discussed, it hasn't been, the initiative has not had the campus-wide discussion among faculty, staff, and everyone involved, or our students. At the higher level, deans and above have known about this and talked about it. So one of my duty is to make sure that we'll engage the campus about this conversation. That will make the university really, the example would be this. If, let's say, Oregon business want to carve out a opportunity in China, but they say, we've never been to China, we don't know anyone there, how do we go about it? Then say, call University of Oregon. So when we get the call, we'll say, okay, this is what we can do. Tell us what you want. And then we have our students can do the research. We have faculty expertise. If your employees want to be trained, either the basic know-how of Chinese or the basic know-how, culture know-how, we can help you, kind of a workshops. But then in that group, we are connected with the top 5 universities in China. That's Beida, Tsinghua, Zheda, Fudan, and 中国科技大 plus 香港科技大学 and also Taiwan National University. So these are the top research universities in China. Then what we want to do is to put our faculty, our scientists together with them. For instance, with Tsinghua, we've been talking a possible program, joint master degree program called Green Architecture. Because green architecture is our faculty's expertise here and is known to the state of Oregon is known for sustainability, environmental related issues. And Tsinghua is the Chinese MIT, okay? And they are very strong in this area, material science, environmental science, nanoscience. So when President Furman and I visited Tsinghua University this May, we signed an MOU, which we basically opened up the doors for our students, researchers, and scientists and faculty to be engaging, with Tsinghua University. And we are going to do more. And we also signed the agreement with Fudan University in Shanghai. That's where our business school has taken the MBA students there twice in the summer so that they will better prepared. So eventually, the East Asia Initiative is calling that we are the university to come to if you want your employees or if you want to recruit students who are well educated when it comes to the language know-how, cultural know-how, and content, their profession areas.
Well, it's been wonderful speaking with you.
And, thank you.
And I invite people to come and speak with you in your office to learn more.
Okay.
And so I appreciate your being on the show. We've been speaking with Chunsheng Zhang, the Vice Provost for International Affairs and Outreach at the University of Oregon. Thanks for watching.